Hey guys, today I want to talk about Menagerie Priest, specifically the Menagerie Priest versus Token Druid matchup. So, a lot of people have been asking me, I've been playing this deck a ton on stream. I got rank 6 Legend last night, trying to go even farther. And this is the end of the month where people are actually tryharding, so it's not like third day rank 6 Legend. It's a end of the month. I could have just stopped there and maybe qualified. Though I'm automatically qualified as a Grandmaster. But I think what I find interesting is people ask me, oh, you should make a guide on this deck, and it's hard. And the reason why is, problem is it's so flexible and it's so situational. So with other decks, you kind of have your game plan and you're trying this to this, and maybe you make a few alterations based on the deck. Where Priest is so matchup dependent, it is so what you randomly generate, it is so what your opponent does. You're very much playing your opponent's hand. That's kind of like, they used to say in poker, I think they said in a James Bond movie, oh, you don't play your hand, you play your opponent's hand. And Priest is much like that. You're often less about doing your own thing and more about stopping your opponent's thing. Sometimes you stop your opponent's thing by doing your own thing, but I think the general principle is we want to be trying to react, and reacting is requires more knowledge of our opponent's deck than our deck sometimes. So I'm going to be making maybe potentially a series. If you guys like this first one, I might make more. If you have a certain deck after this you want me to do a review on, let me know in the comments. But I think the first one I wanted to start out with is Token Druid. And part of the reason I want to do this is I've had multiple games as a Priest where it looks like we've won and our opponent goes like something like Solar Fungal and just draws a whole new hand, and then they end up developing and lose. I think what's interesting about Token Druid matchup is sometimes you just remove their board and it goes very quickly, but sometimes they can really go the distance. I've had my opponents play 3 Fungal Fortunes, 2 this, and 1 randomly generated. There are just ways that the Druid can really go the distance, and part of your weakness as a Priest is you have a hard time finishing decks off. So while you can remove their boards really fast, they can just kind of keep redeveloping. So that is very much altering kind of our strategies. We not only ideally want to just remove their boards, but we want to develop our own thing and actually say, hey, you have to stop me or I'm going to kill you. So the problem with just like, oh, I'm just going to play the removal game and wait back all the time is your opponent might just wait to get the perfect combo, and they might make a giant, might make a really high health board. They might, that you can't soul mirror, because they might make a board that has Soul the Forest on it with Glowflies, and if you don't have double condemn, and they might do even a combination of these things. So you really want to be putting on pressure on your opponent so that they don't have the luxury to assemble these great combos. But yeah, so I'm going to start off with some Mulligan stuff and to go off on to show you guys kind of what the general strategy, talk about how general strategy works in with the Mulligan, and talk about some of the most powerful cards in the deck. Oh, also, one thing to note, you're probably saying, why am I not running Hysterias? I think Hysteria is probably better for Diamond 3 Legend. I'm in a very specific meta at top 100 Legend where it's all Priests, Shamans, and Smites I think are better in my meta. But if you're especially if you're playing lots of Rush Warriors, where nobody plays Rush Warrior at my Legend anymore, it's just, there's too much Priest. But if you are playing against a good amount of Rush Warriors, feel free to just swap Smites for Hysterias. Hysteria is the best card in the deck against Rush Warrior, but it's still good in other matchups, but I think I like Smites better with the synergy for Veil Weaver at my rank. So here we have the most common version of Menagerie Priest, and we're going to look at Mulligan win rates. So if we look at, in general, what are good cards to keep, kind of what you'd expect. Condemn, best card. This card's an always keep. It is the strongest card. It can deal with the board of Glowflies. It can deal with the board of Gibberlings. Very, very strong. And at 2 mana, we can do it while doing something else. Wandmaker. Good, just sort of early tempo cards. And we're going to find out when I go into coin and off coin, there's actually a big difference. And part of the reason is the matchup plays very differently depending on if you're a coin or not. And some of that is actually more on the Druid's end. Remember, we're reacting. So the reality is the Druid. So the Druid, sorry about that. The Druid is on coin is much stronger because they can do a faster Gibberling play. They can do a faster Glowfly play. They're with the extra card. They're more likely to hit a Fungal Fortunes. So their deck needs to be much stronger on coin. So that kind of changed our strategy. Often when they have coin, they'll be out faster. They'll have a powerful board faster. So we need to play faster ourselves. Where when they go first, they're much likely to play slower to get powerful stuff later, and that allows us to do different strategies. So first of all, let's look at some of the best mulligans going first. The best card going first is interesting, is Archdruid Neralax. And I have a game where I get Archdruid Neralax, and I literally get 2 Ysir Awakens, and it's just stupid. It is so lucky, but the Archdruid Neralax has a ton of good cards that we can use against Token Druid. So one of the nice things about Archdruid Neralax is it gives you, even the minions are just efficient minions. So if we get the 2-drop or the 4-drop, well, guess what? Those are just lots of stats. And I said earlier, one of the things we do want to be doing, even though these are the optimal cards, is putting pressure on our opponent. And when we put pressure on opponent, we don't allow them to wait for to get a brilliant, Glowfly, Soul of the Forest, a really powerful combo. We make them wait. And sometimes they just have to go Glowfly, and then if we have a Condemn or something, we can just wreck them. So we kind of force them to do plays and not play around of our removals, because if they don't, we're just going to kill them. So that's one of the things. And also, Ysir Awakens. Also, the 0-mana card, the deal 4, is incredibly good with Blademaster Samaro. So if we happen to have Blademaster Samaro in hand, it tends to be really good. So Zarella in general is always a keep. This is the Zoth God of the Deep. This is not a keep. Don't listen to these lies. I don't believe it. It's against Druid. And I think part of the reason some of these stats are probably influenced by the fact that not everyone plays Token Druid. I'm talking specifically about Token Druid, so you might make some alterations if you think they're primordial on a ladder, or like a primordial Druid on ladder, but I'm talking specifically about Token Druid. And I know at my level, I mulligan for Token Druid because I know that's what pretty much everybody plays. Maybe about 1 in 10 Druids I play will be maybe a Celestial Druid or a Primordial Druid, but most of the time it's Token Druid. So, but yeah, Archdruid Neralax, very, very good. Wandmaker, nice. Just kind of these early tempo. Venomous Scorpid, I will be keeping that as well. And then, so if you have these, what's nice is you can get some spells, and then ideally you can maybe do a palm reading and discount them. And then you can be ready when your opponent starts going their Glowflies. Veil Weaver is actually, I find, to be very good against Druid. The biggest threat is when we play Veil Weaver. It's a very good Lunar Eclipse target. So sometimes when you play Veil Weaver, your opponent will go something like Gibberling, Lunar Eclipse, and then play some stuff, and they remove your Veil Weaver. But if you have Veil Weaver on 2 and they don't remove it, it's actually very, very strong. You can often go Apotheosis on this, or just renew, maybe high roll into a certain card, and you can just generate a lot of value. And Veil Weaver, generating random spells from Veil Weaver, can be a great way to beat the Druid, because sometimes we can get free Condemns. We get a free removal that's good against Druid, and that can just win the game, because just having that one extra removal can be very powerful. So Blademaster, keep going first. Especially can be very important, because they might do a past Gibberling play, and your Condemn doesn't do 2. So sometimes we just want to do Blademaster on turn 4 to deal 1 damage to everything. Sometimes the Token Druid player will do a fast Gibberling board, and just Token Druid players are getting better at playing 1 through 4. So it used to be they would just kind of draw and then sort of go off on turn 4. Maybe they do a lightning Lulify, but players are kind of putting pressure. And part of the power of Token Druid is you can have this weak board, and then you can go Lightning Bloom, Sober Arbor up, bam, lethal. So you don't necessarily, as a Token Druid, need to have this perfectly wide board. Just like a 4 minions with 1 attack can sometimes be actually very threatening at the right mana position. So but yeah, so I think the general idea, and if I have Zarella, I'm always keeping Renew. That's another thing. And I think even with the right hand. So what's interesting here is when you go first, Soulmere, very bad keep. But let's go on coin. Soulmere is actually the best keep. And remember what we were saying. So on coin, our opponent's a little bit slower. So the game is more likely to kind of go to these. The Druid's more likely to put pressure on like the turn 4 through 7, 8. So especially we get a palm reading and we have the coin, so we can get out Soulmere a lot faster, and this can be very effective. If our opponent, there are a lot of boards that our opponent might have difficulty dealing. We might have difficulty dealing with. To do like a Solar Arbor up, a Condemn won't deal with it, stuff like that. So having a Soulmere, very very useful in the matchup. So Condemn's still good. It says Light Shower. I'm not keeping Light Shower almost ever. But I see the point. I've had multiple games where Light Shower is very helpful. So let's say if you had something like Wand Maker, Venomous Scorpion, Light Shower, you already got a good start. I think Light Shower is a legit keep. On coin, I wouldn't be keeping it going first. Same reason we really want to hit our removal. But I see the merit of that. That just because you can get this and then you can get a N'Zoth sometimes, and it can be very strong. It's also kind of this nice procrastination play. So a lot of the problem is sometimes we don't want to remove because our board is not that threatening, but at the same time, we don't want to do anything. So having these plays, these tempo plays that we can get on board, is very important. So, but generally, I'm not trusting this step. But palm reading, also very good to get kind of those spells, but I would depend on what your hand is. So, maybe with the right hand, I'm keeping palm reading. It tends to be really good where if you go 1 Maker Venomous Scorpion, you get a 1 mana spell, and then you can palm reading it all. And that can kind of get you a very efficient removal hand, so you can often keep developing while removing. That's what we want to do in order to win, right? So if you know the meme. So I think that's in general. I'm often keeping Veilweaver as well. I just like it. And I think the power of Veilweaver is when you don't answer, you can generate a lot of value. But in general, we want to be getting ahead. You can see Neralex not very good on coin. I haven't quite figured this out. I might be keeping, but I think just part of the reason is I think Venomous Scorpion tends to be better on coin. But anyways, that's the general Mulligans. You can see in general we want Condemns, we want the removal, and we want kind of early game plays. That's the general. So one thing to know, everyone's like, do we keep Draconic Studies ever? No, don't keep Draconic Studies. It's too slow. You want better cards. So that's something to note. But so I also next want to talk about cards that we generate and what cards can be valuable and what cards should. So let's go to the game. So here we've got pre-spells. I'm going to talk about some of the top tier pre-spells we can generate. So Desperate Prayers and Flash Heal, kind of similar purpose. Zarella. So, and sometimes you could just, if you're getting killed and you're kind of in a tempo matchup and it's close, these can be good, but these are, without Zarella, these aren't really that good. So in general, we don't want them, but if we have Zarella, they go massively up in value. So that's something, if we get randomly generated with Zarella, these are really good picks. Focused Will, not that good, but what can be nice is often you use it on your Wand Maker, or maybe even a Scoundrel if you had to play that and they're playing a little bit slower, and that can give you a little more tempo. Sometimes if you're desperate, you can use it for the Veilweaver just to try and drain up value, but not a very good pick. Draconic Studies is an interesting one. So Draconic you generally don't want, but the fact that it's mana cheating effectively can be very useful. So let's say you don't keep Draconic Studies, but you go Draconic on 1 because you have it and you don't have another play. And so some really good picks. So let's just go over dragons to look at for the matchup. So one Skeletal Dragon is actually very good. One is mainly it's a 4/9 taunt, And when this comes back with N'Zoth, especially if you have a Light Show Elemental, that can be so much. And so even if the Druid's doing very well, often just getting through all that taunt, can be very difficult. And so often this can, you play this, you're kind of behind, and then you go to Zoth, and all of a sudden your opponent was about to beat you, and they didn't. Circus Amalgam, another taunt, and Crimson. So these taunt dragons can be nice. Circus Amalgam can be nice so that if it's in a little bit slower kind of matchup, maybe your opponent gets a Solar Fungal off. Another spot where it can make make your N'Zoth better. So Sky Stalker, very, very bad, I would say. And same thing with all these kind of big stats. These can be good in certain matchups, but are bad. Onyx can actually be quite good because the double spells, often just generating spells, can be very valuable. So, and also Onyx is very difficult to it's very high health, like the Skeletal Dragon. So you get an Apotheosis on this, it can have that soft taunt where your opponent has to say, well, do I go face or do I sink all this damage into this health lifesteal giant dragon? And it can be very valuable. I actually have a game that I'm going to show you guys that I do just that. So these are some of the valuable dragons. A lot of these 9-mana dragons too slow. But if it's a slow matchup, sometimes the token druid will go. So if you're later on taking a Sierra, could be good because you can then get all that powerful stuff. So that's very rarely that it works. But Sleepy Dragon actually can be really good for the same reason that the Skeletal Dragon is good. Is it's a 4/12 taunt, so you can just block that in the way and then revive it with an N'Zoth. So that's another potential. But yeah, if maybe you get some ridiculous discounts, Ysera and Malygos could be good, but they're usually too slow. But maybe if you read the situation, and Deathwing can be nice as kind of a final card swing. So let's say you've got some removal, but you think you might run out. Your opponent's forcing stuff out. Maybe it's turn 7. You go Draconic. Taking a Deathwing can be nice. Okay, they finally got you, and you go Deathwing, and then bam. So it's kind of a one last removal, which can be nice. But yeah, I think Nixia, Runaway Blackwing, very bad. In general, I don't think Ysera, Alexstrasza is very good. The reality is that the deck can do 30 damage, so healing, and usually we're not doing damage to our opponent. But and then I think sometimes Brightwing can be just good for tempo if you play this on 1 and you want to play this on 2 to try and get some board. So that can be useful, but in general, I don't know the reliability of right wing cards. I don't think they're that good. But generally, so what I want to say is, so why would we want to keep it Draconic? Well, let's say we have a Skeletal Dragon and we don't have a turn 5 play. Well, we might pick Draconic even though it's not that good of a card to keep in general. Why? Because then we can get the Skeletal Dragon down on 5. And so if we're looking at our curve and we're trying to do good tempo plays, we might find that. So that's something to be thinking about Draconic when you're looking at your discovers. So Smite, it can be good, especially if you have Veil Weavers and you have Palm Reading. So let's say you go Scorpid, you get a Smite, and then you go Palm Reading, and then they play some stuff, and you go Veil Weaver and do 3 Smites or 2 Smites on your opponents, and maybe you trade and renew, and all of a sudden, bam, you got a Condemn and a Holy Nova. So that can be very valuable just to kind of remove while cycling, and it's really good with Palm Reading. Not that great a choice overall, but with the right hand can definitely be good. Wave is another one of those weird ones where it's not that good in general, but because the opponent's often buff, but in certain scenarios, so let's say you're just trying to, the problem is often if you overreact to a board, well, you don't do your own thing, your opponent just redevelops. So what I like to do is, let's say my opponent has 4 minions, it's turn 7 mana, I might plan to do Light Shower Wave, or if I have Palm Reading, maybe turn 6. And that's kind of I can do a more tempo developing play, so I'm not just always reacting. And Wave can kind of be something where you say, okay, let's say your opponent's already buffed up your board, their board, maybe they have 3 attack minions. Well, now they're not as threatening, so if your opponent redevelops, maybe you go Silmir, but if they don't redevelop, then you can just keep playing tempo play. So Wave can be a nice thing with that, but not the best pick. But one thing to note is Wave does have really good synergy with Against All Odds. So if you get this card, then maybe you've already randomly generated it, that then Wave goes up in value because then it's a unconditional board clear, which is very good. So let's go back. You're looking at Wave. Insight, I think isn't that great, but in general, if you already, if you have a natural play for this, and you need some more value, you can do that. But I would very rarely, especially in the early game, giving insight. So it'd be more all your other options are terrible, or situationally, maybe you need Blade Master, you're in a desperate situation, and you need to draw a card. Insight would be good in that scenario. Powered Feast can be actually quite good. One of the things that's nice about it is often, they're going their early maybe Glowfly play or something, and you could just, especially with a Veil Weaver, going Powered Feast trade, not only with a Veil Weaver can get you a free spell, but also buff up your minion and heal it. So it can do a lot of things at once. So if you have board, this card can definitely be good. The real big thing about this card is if you have Blade Master in hand, getting this down can be really good. You get Apotheosis and a Palm Reading. Often you can do huge damage because sometimes your opponent will make a 5 health board, and now you can do that with Palm Reading or Apotheosis and Powered Feast, and you can just wreck a huge board. So with Blade Master, this card goes up in value. Without Blade Master, it's just kind of okay. So Shadow Word Death, not very good in this matchup. There's just not that many times where we want to just kill one high health minion. Shadow Form, absolutely terrible. Thrive in the Shadows can be good, especially so if you're looking for a card from your deck. Let's say you have Blade Master and you just need Apotheosis. Often you can thrive in the Shadows, and you're a good chance you're going to hit your card higher than with just a random Discover, because the fact that often you haven't drawn that card, but that's why you're looking for it, so it increases the chance because you've already drawn other cards. So Thrive can be good when we really want something. Apotheosis can be very good, especially when you have big minions. Sometimes there are better options, but especially when we have board or a Blade Master, when this can be bad. Also, what actually can be nice about this is if we have a big taunt, and it's later in the game, but maybe we're struggling with a close matchup, and maybe our opponent's got our life down. Maybe we go Skeletal Dragon Apotheosis, and all of a sudden our opponent has to trade in everything. Maybe they're still fine, but they traded stuff in and gave us full life. And there's not really much they can do about that. So you can do kind of that play with Apotheosis in the Token Druid matchup. Devouring Plague, I had a game where I picked it and I lost. I actually think this card is often too slow. Now, in certain scenarios, it can be good, but I have a game where I didn't pick Shrouded Ruin, and then my opponent immediately on turn 3 goes Lightning Bloom, Solar Arbor, and I wish I'd picked Shadowed Ruin because I couldn't this wasn't actually that good for dealing with powerful boards. It's kind of good to finish up a board when you already are ahead. So anyways, Gift of the Luminance actually can be quite good when you're head on board. So getting a gift on a Veil Weaver, obviously very good, but even just getting a Gift of the Luminance on a Venomous Scorpion can be nice. So you play that, and all of a sudden that's trading into 4 minions. So you get 2 trades, so that can kill 4 stuff. So as opposed to Venomous Scorpion can only kill 1 thing normally, or 2 maybe if it has a 2 health. So this card, I think, definitely underrated as a pick. Can be very nice in the right scenario, and also it can be very good with Light Shower Elemental sometimes. So if you have a Light Shower Elemental out and you go that, and all of a sudden that's very, very annoying for your opponent to get through. Palm Reading, generally a very top tier pick. Not only allows you to discover something else, but get your stuff cheaper. Often the Druid is trying to play around key combos. So let's say they might try and play around Double Condemn. But if you've got a Palm Reading, or maybe Soul Mirror Condemn. So maybe they do a Glowfly, and they buff it up and put a Soul of the Forest or something like that. Without the right enough mana, you can't do it. But Palm Reading, you can kind of beat that system, and you could discover something. So with Palm Reading, not only you can get another chance to pick a better card, but all your other cards get discounted. So often, if you have 5 spells in hand, this is basically costing you -2 mana, and it gets you can get another chance. So unless you get a Palm Reading is definitely a top tier pick, unless you get a really good option. Auspicious Spirit's pretty terrible. I really don't recommend it. We just don't want tempo. We don't unreliable tempo. If we high roll something, it can win us the game. But most of the time, even with good high rolls, we're not we're just getting a good amount of stats. Our opponent just kills us. So for the most part, this is pretty terrible. Holy Nova, really, really good pick. What's really nice is actually if you play this on Scorpion, often your opponent will try and do something like a Lightning Bloom Glowfly to try and get the Glowfly down before you can do 2 mana Condemn. It gets upgraded. So, but if you have the Holy Nova, you can deal with that. So Holy Nova, one of the absolutely top tier pick in the Token Druid matchup. Hysteria, not very good in general. The problem is their health, the stuff is usually high, but if you don't have other good options, it can be okay. Sometimes they have one thing that's bigger. Sometimes you can do a fancy play, like you can buff something up of theirs and then go Hysteria and maybe get some good trades. This is one of those. We're desperate and we're already doing other good plays, but it's not what we generally want to do. Power Infusion. This is another, like, if we have Veil Weaver card. So if we have Veil Weaver, this can be good if we're kind of getting ahead on board. But in general, if we're not ahead on board, if we're behind, this card's absolutely terrible. So it's, if we don't have better options and we have Veil Weaver, okay, sometimes we might keep this. But in general, not a very good chip pick. Rally, not very good. Just, maybe we even get a Veil as a Scorpion, but just that's not how we win this matchup with very inefficient tempo. We want good cards. So Shadowward Ruin, actually very good. So there are games where even multiple Shadowward Ruins necessary because we can deal with the Solar Arbor. So often, if your opponent goes Solar Arbor, and especially if it goes maybe before you can do Soul Mirror, there might be very, very difficult to deal with. But if you have Shadowward Ruin, it's very, very easy. So, if they have a board of 2/2, maybe they have 2/2/2s on board, and you think, oh, I'm going to say if they go Lightning Bolt Solar Arbor and you don't have a good answer, well, if you have Shadowward Ruin, you have a great answer. So this is actually, I think, the more I'm looking at, I had a game where I didn't keep it because it was so early. And like I said, my opponent went Lightning Boom Solar Arbor very quickly, and I lost. So I think this is actually quite a top-tier pick. Maybe not as good as Palm Reading or Holy Nova, but all very good. Against All Odds, also quite a top-tier pick. Maybe not the top tier, but you can often deal with a Glowfly into the Lion card was the +1/+3 Prize Fury. So that can deal with that, and often that board can be very difficult to deal with. So you're against all odds. Also, if you have a Wave of Apathy, this can combo with that very well. Psyche Split, this is another Veil Weaver card, and head on board. You get the Psyche. I've been getting arguments with my chat because I like calling it Psyche, but there's like it's Psyche Split, but here I call it Psyche Split. So if everyone's like, oh, you're calling it wrong, Psyche Split. I know what I'm doing. So Psyche Split could be really good on like Light Shower Elemental, for example. So it's a card like, once again, if you're ahead, it can be real nice. If you're behind, it's absolutely terrible. So just kind of, this can be a good, like, all right, I'm ahead. I have this Light Shower. Gonna play it, but in general, not very good in a lot of other situations. Initiation, absolutely terrible. There's nothing we don't want to. Oh, I can play this on a Gibberling and get a 1/1. No, it's really, really bad, and it's 6 mana. Interesting. Certain matchups, this card's actually really good, but very terrible. Soul Mirror, absolute top tier. One of the best you can pick. A little slow sometimes, so maybe if you're already have a Soul Mirror, you might pick something a little bit faster. But in general, one of the best picks. And Idle, horrible. And Powered Fortitude, one and against again, very good if you already have board in the Veil Weavers, but very bad if you don't. But this card also can be very good with Blade Master. Often you have a lot of spells. So this is another, if you have Blade Master, the value of this card goes way up. So anyways, I went into a lot of the cards and kind of what are some things. So I'm going to talk about some likely scenarios that you face against Token Druid, but kind of showing what we want to randomly generate from our cards in our generation kind of can give us idea of the matchup. But so often, so when we're playing against Token Druid, they might either play the slow game or the fast game. So the fast game is you kind of try and get ahead on board. With Gibberlings, you just try and go under the priest before they can answer their stuff and get a bunch of value, maybe get a Soul of the Forest on a Gibberling play. And so there's certain things I've noticed, like a lot of priest druids are actually tempoing Gibberling on 1 without coin. And sometimes you have coin condemn, but I've actually decided I don't think it's actually worth to do it unless you have like a Wand Maker in hand, because then you're losing the coin, and usually they won't have a Power of the Wild there. The reason is usually if they actually have the Power of the Wild, sometimes they'll be greedy. So sometimes if they go Innervate, Adorable, Power, you can get really punished. But that's very much the minority, because often in that spot, even they would want to go Gibberling, Innervate, the 1/1 mana Adorable. Anyways, so usually you don't get a Power of the Wild punished in that spot. But yeah, sometimes they want to go under you. So like I said, getting a little bit on board just to kind of fight off the early stuff. Because the problem is we don't really want to use our condemns and stuff on the early board. So just being to play our own tempo, very valuable. Then they usually have a big kind of development play, maybe a Glowfly, maybe a Gibberling play around 3 to turn 5. We want to ideally have a clear. Sometimes if we have a 2-mana condemn, we have to think, can we wait till turn 5? But ideally we have a condemn or a Holy Nova that we randomly generated. We really want to be generating something. Though sometimes if I had a game where I had gotten 3 smites, I think I had a Wandmaker smite and I go Palm Rating, and they do Glowfly, and they actually had, I think, a Holy Nova in hand, but I decided I'd rather generate a bunch of cards, so I went Veil Weaver and then just smited everything, and I think I ended up leaving 1/2/2 on board because I had a Wandmaker and a Scorpid, so I was able to control the board. So sometimes when we have board, we actually don't want to use our clears because we'd rather use the board while we have it, and then use the clears when we don't. So sometimes there's kind of this balance of, can I be greedy with these clears? Can I not? How much is a threatening board from them? So sometimes I find 3 minions is when you have 30 life, you're generally safe. Even if they go Solar Arbor, you're not dying. But once you get to 4 or 5, and if you have 5 minions on board, if they have 5 minions on board, they can lethal you from 30 health with Solar Arbor. 4 minions on board is kind of this gray area. So like if you have a condemn on 4 minions, it can be tough. So you want to be thinking, if I condemn this board and they develop another board, do I just lose? Is this condemn going to be bad if if they go Solar Arbor, well, I might have a Shadowed Ruin, but I can't use that Shadowed Ruin if I'm dead. So there's always this line to place of thinking, what can they do? What line plays against likely plays? So, do I save this condemn? Do I save this Blade Master? Is the Blade Master not going to be good if they buff the stuff up so much because I only have 1 buff? So maybe I just take the Blade Master now. These are the questions you want to think. So another play I think is really important to know is looking for a Lucia play. So the best time to go Lucia is after they did a Fungal Fortunes play. So your opponent does a Fungal Fortunes play and you have a Lucia, it's a great time to go in and dump all their Lightning Blooms, all their Innervates, and whatever cards they have. This can often just win the game. But the thing is, if your opponent doesn't do a Fungal Fortunes, it can be a little bit riskier. So, but I think that's the general time is when they do a draw play, but then they don't actually develop anything. Going Lucia can be very, very strong. So that's something to note. But yeah, I think another really cool play you can do is if your opponent's been doing damage and you have a minion on board, and often they maybe don't kill your minion, you can go Apotheosis on your minion and then heal from that and then go Zarella. So I think I had a game where my opponent has a little bit early board, does some damage, does quite a bit of damage to me, but then kind of fizzles out, does some drawing with the Fungal Fortunes. I have a South Sea Scoundrel, and they go Glowfly and then double buff it up with a Solar Pride. They kind of use multiple Lightning Blooms. So they have 2 4/8s, a whole board of 4/8s, which is very, very difficult to deal with. But I just go Apotheosis on my Scoundrel and then go Zarello. So that's kind of another fancy play you can do. But you also can, like getting the Light Charms and the Dragon Taunts can be really nice to get with N'Zoth. So you have a N'Zoth in hand, you might try and think, okay, can I get these clunky minions out and then revive them? So these are all kind of things to think about. Every game is different, every game. But I think one of the things is this Druid have a go the distance hand? And sometimes it's tough to know if they have Fungal Fortunes, but you kind of play differently depending on how much value they have. So if they've gotten a Solar Fungal off, you either need to kill them or you need to have a bunch of removal. They're going to play a lot of stuff. But if they kind of are fizzling out, sometimes maybe you use your resources very frugally to just clear to make sure you're as safe as possible because you think they're out of stuff. So that's a line you often play. Like I said, maybe if you think you need to go the distance a little bit longer, you might take a risk where you have to, because the reality is if you don't take that risk, you're just losing when they just have more resources, which is very likely. So you might say, okay, I pretty much lose to this combo of cards. I lose to this combo of cards. I'm going to take that risk because I can't beat everything. So that's something you want to be looking at, trying to figure out. So in general, it's actually a very interesting matchup, and often the priest will actually seem like they're ahead, and the Druid just draws more cards, and the priest runs out of removal. So just because it feels like you're ahead, don't get cocky. The token Druid can really go at the distance, if they play it well, especially if, they get a solar fungal or just multiple fungals. That's a ton of value that you're going to have to deal with, and it's very efficient. Boards of two, a whole board of 3/5s can be very, very difficult to deal with if you don't have the right conditional removal. So, anyways, got some games for you guys. Hope this Token Druid versus Priest guide was helpful. If you liked this, let me know a class you'd like to see. I've kind of got, if it's not very common on ladder, I might not do it. But if it's a common ladder, right now I'm playing a lot of Shaman. I'm playing a lot of Priest. I'm playing a little bit of Rogue, not playing much Warrior. So if it's one of those classes and you say, oh, I'd love to have that, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys like this and enjoy the games. Maybe I'm going to do that here. I'm going to intentionally not. Even though I don't have Zarella, I'm going to make it look like I have Zarella. Now they're afraid of Zarella. Dude, I can feel their fear.
Come closer.
No. I want them to think it was intentional. Dude, it actually worked. Punished. Oh, that's so great. I mean, I actually could have just gone face. No, wait, I couldn't have because of the armor. So.
You don't break the wands. I must know more.
Recognize me.
Well, it was a bluff. They called it, and then I changed it to not being a bluff. Guys, it's like when you're betting on the turn, like as a bluff, and then you hit the river, and then you bet with the actual hand. They're banned. You can call bottom right for the enemy. I still don't like it. I respect people who don't give up. I generally just don't respect giving up. It's not over. Look at all this value they have,
My hand is too full.
I think I just go condemn body next turn and we win, right? They're just throwing lethal.
Time waits for no.
Like there's spots like that in Hearthstone in poker where somebody turns over their hand thinking they've lost, and the person who called actually had the worst hand. I've had that. I called somebody with ace high, and they were bluffing with a better ace high. It was pretty brutal. Oh, he hit Zarella. Nice. You know what? I feel like it's Blade Master here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Blade Master. I haven't had anything die yet, so.
My blade seeks I hear. I can see.
Yeah, it does.
Victory.
I wonder if I ever keep Draconic. I don't think I do. Brands are already in the game. I'll refund your points for now.
Job's done.
I could get wrecked here. Like they just go in on dribbling, and I have a crappy 1 damage condemn here. This is good too. Like corporate off the top. Come on. Oof. Yeah. I have no answer. Wait, oh, I do have an answer for the glowfly, but I have no answer for like glowfly plus power of the wild here. Which is real bad. I'm not a fan.
One for me.
Yeah, you have to ask to go further beyond before the. Oh, this is rough. I can't give them power. It's just like too good of a play if they have glowfly. Their hand's actually kind of full. I could take this to look for outs, so I think I take this.
What to do? Goal? Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. We could go just play this nameless one here. It's reasonable because it's tempo and it gets us. Might be nameless one. This going condemn here is just not very good, but it's a weird situation here. I could hit some good cards though, but I also could just miss massively. And like going condemn here just isn't very good. It leaves. Come closer. You can trust me.
Yeah, we get the taunt effect too, which is nice. So. And it's a beast, so it comes back with N'Zoth. This is more of an intermediate play here.
Time waits for no one.
Power? Okay. It's actually pretty darn good. Basically trade. So we've got a good we have to go condemn here. So always go fungal now. Hope to high roll. Lost Blade Master. Darius borderline worthless. I guess I take a different card, right? Like I could do just that for. If they don't set up a lethal here, we can go Ank's Apotheosis, which is pretty good. Because like they kind of have to answer that. But yeah, it's an interesting one. So we hope they just don't set up lethal here. Yeah, I think this is pretty good for us.
even though it's lots of value, because we can do our Onyx Apotheosis here. No, we don't Hysteria here. Like in Solar Arbor is how much damage here? Is 5 plus 12, so we're not dead to Solar Arbor. I think this Onyx Apotheosis is a good line here. You can go Light Shower. Like this is very tough for them. Yeah, Solar Arbor doesn't kill us. Yeah, we're sitting pretty here. They have to have like a Solar Arbor Power the Wild with a Wailing Bloom, which is very possible but tough. The problem is actually how do we don't actually have a good way to react to the Solar Arbor board here with this hand. We had like a Soul Mirror. But this is very strong, like because they kind of have to react to this. So Dorella, yeah.
Time waits for no one.
Yeah. The problem, for me here is I don't have I probably just go Condemn plus Light Shower here. All the other plays don't really make sense here. Do like Condemn. Yeah. Condemn Light Shower is really good. We get a 6 mana heal, a 6 life heal. We do a trade. We have this, so then the damage we take gets negated. It seems really good. So. Nice that the heal goes on this now, so. Can I focus Will Hysteria? This is, I think, a lot better. I don't know if. Did I ever have a Solar Arbor lethal here? No. Cards. Solar Arbor would be I heal, but yeah, they deal 16, so I don't think it's lethal. We haven't had a dragon die yet, right? What have we played? If we played a beast? No. We've got a pirate. So playing the Zoth here is very acceptable. We also could go Sleepy Dragon here with the intention of then the N'Zoth revives the Sleepy Dragon, which is kind of good. I think it might be Sleepy Dragon because if what are my other options here, really? I guess I can just go N'Zoth and get the Light Shower Elemental number 2. So let's think here. We go Sleepy Dragon. Solar Arbor probably kills us, right? I'm probably supposed to kill one of these two. Let's think. Solar Arbor. Yeah, Sleepy Dragon into N'Zoth is... They'd have Solar Arbor, I think, still wins, but also could do something like Light Shower with a Focus Will on like this, and then we can it's tough though. Taking maximum damage of that. I didn't kill this because I'd rather just absolutely maximize our chance for not dying here. That's not Solar Arbor, alright? They wouldn't need to do that. Okay. We can beat this. We can beat this, guys. I think we can beat this. Those. Okay. Wait, am I just dead? No, I'm not just dead. Whew. Okay. I think we can beat this. And do the math. We get a 412, we get a 6-6, we get basically 14 health here, right? And then I can silence this and then trade on it, I think. That's the optimal. Winnable. All right, let's see. See if they got it here. 1-2 might be enough to like. 1-2 might save us the game here. You never know. Okay. Is that lethal? That might be lethal. Wait, it's kind of awkward for them, right? No, they get a trade there. Trade hero power. I don't know the order here. We get a. Trade. Oh, it does save us, right? We'd be dead. We would be dead. I think we're alive. All right, all we need is like some sort of miracle here. Okay. What's our play here, guys? Can I go like trade some stuff off and then go Hysteria on this big boy? I think it's Hysteria and Prey. Yeah, because it could hit our 612, and then we can go Lightshore Elemental afterwards too. Scorpion, Insight, Azraella. I think I like Hysteria and Prey. Okay, that was very good. It's very good. Okay. Oh, that was very bad, actually. I take it back. I take it back.
Be careful with that.
I dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Wait, no, I'm not. No. They're one off lethal if they have no burst at all here. Yeah, so bad. If that hit something other than a Zoth there, I think we would have a good chance to win, but they trade here and then we heal the 16 and they have 14 damage, so they're one off lethal here. If they have any buff, they just win, right? Like, so why are they thinking buff, win, easy? So maybe they don't have lethal here. It doesn't look like lethal. That's good for us.
Time waits for no one.
Wow. What a game, guys. What a game. Dude, I can't believe we're still alive. Alright, let's see if we get a Soul Mirror off the top and we win. Oh, it's up to the guys, it's up to the Scorpions. Give me a Condemn and we win. This power fusion shit. Holy Nova would work too. We lost, guys. Couldn't hit it out. Couldn't hit an out. Feels very sad.
Be
I
careful.
think we're dead. Maybe we're not. Maybe if we high roll these. Hit the 5-1. Oh, the guy's technically not dead.
Out of cards.
Wait, they don't have buffs? Wait, they don't have buffs. Wait, we're not dead! Wait, we're not dead! Oh my god, did we win? Wait, what's in their deck? What's in their deck? They got a Glowfly here? Wait, what? No way! No way! Woo! What a game. What a game. And now we got him for sure, right? This could be, this is YouTube worthy, I'd say.
I can see.
What a game. Dude, what a game. The big thing. And, you know, you have to also convince yourself that, like, this is important to me. So, you don't believe, like, this is important to you. It's going to be hard to focus. Now, sometimes we all have to do this. So if you're, like, you're playing, like, right now, sometimes also these things, like, you invest the time, and then it actually becomes enjoyable. It's like a Stockholm Syndrome. Because you've actually, like, put in the time, and you're like, oh, I actually understand this now, you know? Okay, what is this garbage play, guys? Can someone explain this garbage play to me? What the hell? Okay, wait, it's Fury Hunter.
Wow.
What the hell is he doing, guys? Can someone explain this play to me? Why the hell would he do that play? I don't understand. I don't remotely understand here. My friends... I would never do that play, ever. But Fury Hunter is way better at Token Druid than me. Like, way better. So I'm, like, very, like, what the hell? It's such a weird play, right? Like, but I guess he can get a lot, like, he can get this play. And, I don't know, it's such a... He went Coin Power the Wild for a 3-2 into Adorable. Maybe his hand is bad. I mean, I don't know. I would just wait to get a good hand and then do something. But, like, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he knows something I don't. Because I would never do that play. Like, because It's just such a weird play, you know? This innervate's actually kind of nice here. But I actually might have just screwed myself. We'll see. I think it's just you. I haven't dropped any frames today, so. I figured out how to make the internet work. Well, right now we're in 720p. I might go back to 180p if I feel confident again. But
Waits for no one.
no, oh. I'm getting sold here. If I had smited, I might have just won, which is interesting. Alright, well, let's see if we can hit something here.
Magic is not a toy. Do not lose this.
Okay. Unfortunate. I might be losing, guys. That's unfortunate. If I had smited his 3-2.
You don't pick the ones.
Be careful with that. Be careful with that.
Arbor up would actually potentially win us the game here, because then all their stuff goes to they don't lethal us here unless they have one extra mana. So if they have Arbor up, innervate. But if they went Arbor up, it would then everything gets into Shadowward Ruin range, and we win from that. So it's an interesting situation from their point of view. Man, it looks like if I had smited the 3-2. We would have won this game, but I didn't. I was so confused, and yeah, they have 2 less 1/1s, and awesome top deck here. Like a game-winning top deck. That was so lucky. Perfect. And what do you got here? What do you got? What do you got? That's it. They're just trading. Okay. Okay. I don't think I can afford to go raise dead. I don't want to go scoundrel either. I want to get a hero power in, so I think I just do this, this. Is Gibberling in hand? We're not doing this play. Wait, J Alex doesn't wear his own shirts? Oh god. Need one good top deck and we win. Nazar. Oh, this is so bad. Wait, what if I had died late this game? Scoundrel, like wait, I've had Scoundrel 1. I could hope to get Light Trial Elemental here. Actually I could do it twice. I think that's worth it. Got it, okay. So yeah, if we miss, we go raise dead and we try it again. Did I win here? I think I win here. Wait, survival? Okay. Dude, what a game.
I can see.
I got lucky there. Yeah. Home reading is reasonable keep. Oh, that does sound good, Bear. Sounds very good. Yeah, so Smite's been like really nice. Because right now in the players are playing minions that are hard to remove, or like are. Wait, what do I do here? Do I ever coin out Venomous here? I can go palm reading on 3. Seems like a reasonable line, but I think I do. This is very slow. Now we can, yeah. Devouring, or is it Showered Ruin? Ruin's really good at some point, but I think. Also, we don't really know its token. I don't know, I'll take Devouring. It's a weird one there. Yeah, Poison Rope, why isn't it good anymore? Oh, I think. Okay. Am I screwed here? Maybe. Wait, what? No way! I could have kept Shadowward Ruin and just won the game here. Wow, if I kept Shadowward Ruin. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay. We're fine. We're fine, guys. We're fine. They discovered a card in my deck. Could be good. I'm trying to think what I want here. I guess Shadowward Ruin would be pretty good. I wish I had kept it. Okay. How many cards do I have here? Do I go for it here? One. I could play this and make it a. That actually seems pretty reasonable. Wait, they have the double trade there with the 6/4 then? And then. Let's see, how many cards do I have? This is going to be. Cost 1 less for each card of my spell in my hand. So it's going to be 4 mana, right? That's not good.
Quickly. You've got me fired up. Now we're cooking.
I might be able to get this into Condemn and then this for clear. So bad. It's just. Oh, God. I'm just dead. I'm just dead. Man, if I had taken. If I had taken frickin' Shattered Ruin, we'd won that game easily.
Job's done.
Who we gotta condemn? That's very good. We could beat a giant board of turn 1 Gibberlings. Ooh, that's so good. They don't have Lunar Clips, we just win here. Like, this is a spiral card. You're talking about, I thought you were talking about wild. Yeah. No Lunar Eclipse, no Wind Rain. See if you got it. Nope. And it's over. Ooh, it's tempting to save it, but I'm never saving it. Oh, the high rolls. The high rolls. Look at that. Psyche split. So good. Wow. We were at like a 48% win rate with 40 games, and now we're at a 61% win rate.
What to do?
Dude, and high rolling the discovers. Oh my god. Dude, my life is a high roll. That's a new song I came up with. Let's see if they got. They need double lunar eclipse that they've drawn in the last 2 turns. Unlikely, but you never know. No, never double lunar, please. Oh, solar lunar. You hate to see it if you're a no hands fan, but we're probably still winning. Unless it's yeah, I think we still win here, but was a good play. Was a good play. I'm saving Smite here because I want to go Raise Dead next turn often, and I would like to be able to Smite with the Veil Weaver. It's, yeah, good to die for the Raise Dead. I think I wait for the Fungal Fortunes and then I go Lucia. They go Fungal, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go Lucia, but not now. I could go Wand Maker, but I said I don't want to do this, but oh my god. Disgusting. Wasted all your, I mean, that's the play they have to make there. It's not like, you can't just like wait all game against a Veil Weaver there, you know? Oh, did we lose? Nice play. Good thing, I think we got, I just go Blade Master, wait. Blade Master condemn here and win.
My blade seeks things I hear and obey.
What this is. The 4 condemn game.
You don't pick the ones. See?
In my folly, I have sought chaos and obey.
You sure awakens to add insult to injury? Not quite. Yeah. Alright, I think I just go into Lucia here. Not worth trying to beat this.
Share your thoughts with the class now. I can see.
Her opponent's having lots of fun. I know, right? Ah, dude, this stream has just become a new level of evil. Soulmare, best card you can have in your opening hand against Druid, believe it or not. Wow, we have an insane hand against Druid. I might renew my own face next turn, depending on what they do. That way we can go palm reading on 3. If we top deck Zarella, renew his face instead, I know, right? So here's the question. They go all in here. Okay, now I just go condemn. Actually, a good top deck. Wailing Bloom? What are you doing here? Interesting choice here. Okay. I don't know if I agree with this, but, you know, they're their own person.
Magic is not a toy. Do not lose these.
Yeah, this is very weak. I think I saved the Apatho here. I can just get a hero power in here.
Be careful with that.
This is really nice because we could do Soulmere Wave or Wave Soulmere.
Oh, easy win. Easy win here, guys. And I can get a second Blade Master too. This is guaranteed. This is how you play the priest. Well, change of plans.
The path is clear, brother worthy. The path is clear.
Actually, could have gone raised that and done this on something else, but this seems pretty good. Ooh. Can I just ignore this board and wait for him to clear? I feel like I can.
I wonder.
I also could get the Onks here. So I could get an Onks here and then go Blade. Like they can't really get through this, right? Like I don't know.
Must consider.
Solmir might be the play. I don't feel like I need to. I have this taunt wall.
My blade seeks vengeance. I hear and obey. Blade do not lose these.
Another one.
I must consider.
I hear and obey. Be careful with that.
Must move quickly.
Be careful with that.
I mean, they went Solar Arbor there. Guys, no need to prematurely call good game. That's not even close to a good game. It's a weird one. Only enough it doesn't quite clear here, but I can partial clear here. Still might be the right play.
I wonder.
You've got me fired up. Now we're cooking.
Must choose quickly.
My cards are low. How strange.
Solar Arbor win? Solar Arbor actually might win here. I might have thrown this game. I don't have cards. And maybe just Arbor here. Yeah. Pretty sure I threw this game. I might be able to just win on board though. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't even supposed to play that 6-drop. I don't know. It's weird. I don't have. I lose. I just freaking lose.
For me, one for you. Oh no, my trove of
I don't know what this last card is. Let's see.
In my folly. Chaos.
Pride's Fury, I'm dead. Pretty sure it's Pride's Fury, I'm dead here. What a throne game.
You have best.
I don't know. Alright, I gotta focus, guys.
my hand overflows.
I don't like going Ysir Awakens here. Oh.
You want more?
I don't know. No, it's just by Oliver Nelson, this mix. I don't know this song particularly, but
Let's see.
We didn't get any condemns though, so that's kind of rough, but here's the question. Do I go Ysir Awakens here? I kind of just want to drop. Yeah, I think I just want to drop this guy. I'm not going to get another good opportunity to if I do the.
The path is
Awake at last.
We can do like a. We have a lot of. Even if they do a Soul of the Forest play, we have potential plays here. So
What if...
we can beat the best net to 2/2s. We don't want like, hey, here's some 2/2s that come out of our 2/2s. That's what we don't want. Because we have Ysir Awakens that does 5, but that doesn't kill the Death Rattles.
Now how about... Time grows short.
Cool. This is okay, we can beat this. I think. Maybe not. Let's see, they trade? Never trade. Maybe we can't beat this. I can go Apo on this, put it to 6 health, and then I can doesn't die. That's 7.
Must choose quickly. Awake at last.
It's not that suspicious. I don't know. We have Glowfly right here, right now. We might be losing.
Let's see.
Solar Arbor. Freaking A. Son of a gun! Oh, dude, never unpunished. Lucky. It's fine going face, to be honest. No, it wasn't. Oh, for them. Yeah. I'd like to get these things on board because then I can Apo them. If we hadn't top deck that, we were probably losing the game. I could clear this. Not all this, but a lot of this. I think I just want to do this though. They don't have top decks for lethal, I don't think, because they've used both Arborifts, so...
Job's done.
I don't know how they win from here. Like lunar or fungal, like there's nothing that really punishes us here, I think. So they've used all their punishes.
I can't win them all.